Okay, there we go. Now we're live. Sorry about that, guys. Little technical difficulty with the microphone. Sorry about that. The cord came unplugged. That'll do it every time. Welcome in, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Now we're live. Sorry about that, guys. Little technical difficulty. My bad, guys. Just fixing that. Read the chat. Welcome in, everybody. That's what happens when the cord comes unplugged. The little cord to my microphone down here, if you guys can see it, that cord came unplugged. Oh, the joys of live YouTube, live television. How's everybody doing? Welcome in on a Tuesday night. Sorry about the sound if you're watching that a little bit later. Hey, Terry, how you doing? Welcome in, Barbie. How you doing, better Barbie? Rogue Seller. Yep, we're all good now. I was hoping that wasn't a major glitch. No, just the cable technical difficulties. It happens. All right, guys. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody's week? I know it's only Tuesday. You guys have seen I've had a good start to the week. Although sales went from almost 400 yesterday to nothing today. Not literally nothing, but not good. Just not a good day for sales. Where is everybody at? I mean, I know everyone's blaming the storms and Texas and Florida and the world and the news and everything going out of craziness, but I just don't know what's going on with sales. A friend on Amazon who does around $2,000 a day in sales, at least, if not $3,000, he's like at half, and that's if he's lucky. So not sure where everybody's at. We're going to talk about it a little bit. We're also going to talk about the seller update on eBay. They released it. I just put a video out about it. You can check that out. We're going to talk a little bit about Toys R Us. You guys saw Toys R Us filed bankruptcy. So Ed McKee sent it in an FBA box. Yeah, if the sound's still not working, refresh. Any kind of issues should be good to go. Everything looks good on my end. Sorry about that, guys. eBay reinstating suspended seller accounts. Yeah, I can discuss that a little bit. We'll see, but you know, we'll talk about that because that has been a topic of conversation recently. The last few days is eBay and reinstating suspended accounts. So let's just go one at a time. Let's talk about the eBay fall update. If you didn't see my video already, make sure you go check it out. It's one before this one, after the live show. I did just put it out a little while ago. You can check it out after this live show is over. It'll be there forever. But let's talk about that first. We're going to talk about Toys R Us, and then we're going to talk about we'll talk about the reinstation of suspensions, and then we'll talk about anything else you guys want to talk about at the end for the Q&A section. Sorry about that. I was getting my camera up too. I'm going to do a little recording of my live show for someone on here so they can see how I do my my live show setup with you guys. So my little vlog camera. So we're going to record on that as well. So the fall update came out. It's typical. Not a lot of changes, I think. I mean, it seems like a lot of changes, but I don't think that it's anything that we weren't expecting and don't already know about. Smash the like button. Thank you so much. Appreciate that if you do hit the like button. Thank you. 97 people watching, about to go over 100. So school starting again may have something to do with it. Adam, thank you. We are only on Google Hangouts, but I really appreciate it. I forgot to do the OBS. I'm going to get with my friend this weekend and try to get those zombies. They're up and running. I can make the zombies work, but just kind of such a delay. I hate doing it, but we'll do it again. Ruggers, get used to it. Ruggers Customs in the house. Don't tell me what to do, Terry. Made it to live. Welcome to everyone that is here live. Yeah, Adam, I promise next live show on Thursday we'll have zombies. I promise you that. Thursday we'll have the zombies. So the fall update, let's keep on track here. 3 things they kind of changed that everyone's been talking about. One is the free returns. If you're accepting free returns, everyone knows about that. It means even if a seller, or I'm sorry, if a buyer buys an item and says it's the wrong size and they return it, you have to pay the shipping label. So everyone's first initial reaction to that is, oh my God, why would I ever do that? Well, by offering free returns, you get placed higher in the search rankings. So essentially, it's almost like an advertising fee, which is crazy because there are a lot of new fees. But let's say that you start doing this and 4 returns that you normally get that they would pay the label cost for, let's say it's $3 a piece. So you'd spend $12 that you didn't normally spend. But if it made all your listings higher in the search rankings and you ended up selling an additional 10 or 15 items for, you know, 100, 150 bucks, then obviously the payoff on what you sold extra would offset the extra few bucks in returns that you paid for that you wouldn't otherwise pay for. I don't know. I'm not sold on the fact that it's going to result in a lot more sales. And here's why. As an eBay buyer, as much as I sell on eBay, I also buy a lot on eBay. I never go to a listing and look up and see, hey, what's this person's return policy? Because when I buy an item, if I buy it, either I'm going to keep it because it's what I bought and it's good and it's described, or it's not as described. It's one or the other. Either it came the way it's supposed to and I purchased the right item, or I purchased an item that didn't come the way it's supposed to, and I'm going to be able to return it through item not as described no matter what. So I don't really care about a return policy. And as far as 30-day, 60-day, I check my items immediately after getting them. If I buy an item and I later find out that the seller doesn't offer returns, I'll either resell the item or I'll return it item not as described. It's just not a big selling point for me on eBay. Returns are guaranteed through eBay anyways, essentially. So I search based on the item that I want, based on the price, and based on the conditionary notes and what's included with it, what's not included. Is it in great condition? Is it in terrible condition? That's how I place my sales. Darren says eBay's nickeling, diming everyone to death. I tend to think that might be the case for now. Yeah, I mean, the advertising costs are up. That's true. Life Size Reviewer, thank you. I'm glad to be back too. And a lot of people are pushing this issue like, okay, now eBay's collecting promoted listings from us. They reduced the top rated discount, so they get extra fees that way. Now they're getting us to pay for the shipping labels. Remember, eBay doesn't get any part of that shipping label on free returns. So that's not helping eBay in any way. So that's not something, that's just a way for them to appease the buyers. It's not really for them to pocket any money. So keep that in mind. But I just don't see offering free returns by putting you up higher in the marketing resulting in more sales. I don't think so. If it did, I would easily pay the extra $10, $15, $20 in labels that may come to me from returns in order to sell a few hundred extra dollars. It's the same as doing a promoted listing. You're going to spend an extra $1 per item to promote it when it sells. Hopefully those extra $10, $15, $20 you spend on promoting will result in hundreds of dollars in sales. So that's kind of, the give or take, just like paying for a TV commercial. You pay $1,000 to get a TV commercial in front of thousands of people. Hopefully 10,000 people buy from you. So that's sort of the, the give or take. But it is seeming like, I used to say, oh, all my fees and shipping and everything combined are like 20% or 25%. Now it's like, oh, it's 50%. It's going up. So it's kind of starting to worry me a little bit. I'm going to keep my eye on it. Still a great place to sell and make money, but man, it's getting harder, right? Getting harder. Is Amazon trying to buy eBay? No, Amazon's not going to buy eBay. 50,000 feedback account got suspended in 2015 due to old DSRs. Yeah, that happened back in the day. A lot of things have changed. So the Collector's Revival, thank you. Thank you, Erica, for your first one. So we'll take Q&A at the end. If you guys have Q&A, please hold them. So the second part of the fall update was the active and secure account. Apparently, eBay says that 50% of all buyers purchase using the Google Chrome browser. I don't know how that's possible. Between iPhone, Safari, everyone being on MacBooks or iPhones, I don't know how they have 50%. Maybe it's accurate. I need to do some research on that. Maybe it's not. But anyways, anyone viewing your listings from a Google Chrome browser are going to see that your items are not secure, and it's going to give them like a security warning if your listings contain any HTTP content. So for those of you that are not techies, don't worry about what it means. Just go to the fall update, click on that section, and there's a highlighted tool. It will check your listings for any of that content. If you have any, it will tell you, and it will tell you how to remove them. I checked mine. Out of 1,600 listings, I have none. So I don't imagine any of you will have it. I think it's only for third parties. So keep that in mind. If you're using third-party programs to list or that, then you may have to worry about that. And the third thing is automatic returns. I had my timeline blown up this week about eBay accepting automatic returns and people freaking out and people saying this is bad and blah, blah, blah. I want to make it clear right here. Automatic returns changes nothing. Nothing. So let me explain to you guys why I think automatic returns change nothing. So let's say, and it's only automatic returns for buyers that are paying the return shipping. So if a buyer opens a case against you and it's Item not as described. I bought a purple Crown Royal bag and Rockstar sent me a green one. Item not as described. That will not be an automatic return. I will have to go in and accept that return because I'm paying the shipping. It was my fault. I'm paying the shipping and it's going back. Or the bag has a hole in it. It's going back. My problem, seller pays the shipping. I messed up. I have to go in and accept the return just like any other time. Now, buyer buys buys green Crown Royal bag for me and says, hey, I accidentally messed up. My wife loves the purple one. I meant to buy the purple one. I'd like to return the green one. That is the buyer's problem. The buyer has to return that and they have to pay the shipping. In that case, they could go on, ask for a label, return the item, and you will not have to click the buttons or accept it. Now, if they had done that right now, here today, before this policy goes in effect, you would open it up, you'd click accept, and it would say buyer pays shipping. It's exactly the same, except you just don't have to go click the button. Now, there are some of you that are going to say, well, I won't accept that return. Listen, I get it. We've had this discussion. You don't accept returns. If they want to push the return hard enough, they will. If your return policy says you don't accept returns, as far as I understand, they won't be able to go in and ask for a return based on anything other than item not as described. So if they try to go in and do a, change their mind, then it's not going to work. I could be wrong. If that's the case and it does work, it still doesn't matter because if you have that mindset of I don't accept returns, they can still get returns. They can still force you to take it back as a return. Trust me. If they really want to do it, they can choose item not as described, even if it's their mess up. So just don't view it as a bad thing. View it as a good thing that you don't have to click buttons anymore. I don't suspect that I'm going to get, I get occasionally some returns where people are like, oh, this didn't fit me. I'd like to return it, and they pay the label. So those would just show up in my return section, and you can always just open your return section and check it every day and see if something's on the way back. As soon as it returns, it will issue them the refund. You don't even have to do it. So it's pretty easy. My mom's in the chat. I'm shocked. Hey, Mom. How you doing? How are you? How are you? Hi, Mom. Mom. No, she didn't evacuate. And returns is a part of doing business. Kelly McNutt has it exactly right. Part of doing business. Everyone's saying hi to my mom. That bag is empty. Item not as described. Can we talk about Toys R Us? We will talk about Toys R Us. Give me just a second. We'll talk about it. Item not as described. Bag was empty. Bag was empty. I would definitely return this as item not as described if the bag was empty. No doubt about it. Yeah. Hi, Mom. You want to make sure that you get your item back if they issue the refund. So that's a great point that Chris Magnelli just brought up. What if the item comes back and it's an empty box? Or it's a broken, they bought this bag from you and accidentally stabbed a hole in it. Now they send it back with a hole. If they do that, you have to call eBay and tell eBay, hey, this came back with a hole, or this came back broken, or they sent me an empty box. I need you to take care of this. Under that policy right now, you have to call eBay and dispute the return. Like, I don't want to issue them a refund. They don't deserve the refund. I want you to reverse it. After the automatic return, you still have to call eBay and dispute it. There's no difference. If they try to screw you or pull a switcheroo or send back a broken item or an empty box, you have to call eBay one way or the other. You're going to have to call them. So no different. Chris, great point, great question, but there's no difference. The wrecking crew going nuts in the background. Right. If it's an automatic return where the seller pays shipping, where it's your fault, it kicks in after 3 days. That's normal, though. That's typical. So eBay not good with selling with sellers or siding with sellers when the item is returned damaged or empty. I've had good luck with it. Some people haven't. You can always use the IC3 website, of course. Yeah, Chris, the item, it doesn't give the money back until you have the item. Exactly. It has to be delivered back to you. So as soon as it gets delivered on your returns, check them out. If you have a problem, if they sent back a damaged item, call eBay right away. Call them. I do not get many returns. We get a few every week. Remember, I sell 800, 900 items a month. So, you know, we were under 2%. So on 800 items, 1% is 8. So 2% is 16 a month, which is 1 every other day, or 3 a week, 4 a week. And sometimes it's even less than that. I may only end up with like 10. I would say I probably average about 10 to 12 returns per month, which is a lot to you guys, but to me, it's not. It's not very many. My eBay link to my eBay store is down in the description box below. If you want to check out my eBay store, use the link down below. Take you right to it. Joni, MSS Sky equals good use, good. The dogs are the cutest. They're out there playing, so if you hear them. Have you ever done a vid or used file exchange? I don't know what that means. Return rate for Kelly McNutt is 0.4%. That's amazing. I'm at like 1.8. I may be a little higher, actually, because we jumped up a little bit. We had some returns. And it wasn't any fault of mine. We had like 3 returns in a row for items that didn't fit, that clearly had measurements and sizes. Return rate is just over 2% right now. So we're just a little over 2%. Not surprising. Who doesn't eBay better control the use of stock? Why doesn't eBay better control these stock photos? I have new tag items. UPC doesn't provide me any photos yet. Other people are selling the same item. They do try to control stock photos, but they're not very good at it. That's just the thing. Do I know any good Canadian YouTubers that talk about reselling? I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know Canadian ones. Yeah, second twirl. Rewind this video, and I talk about the automatic returns. Nothing changed with automatic returns. Right, Mike Callow, that's what we're talking about. If the customer returns the item not as described, not in the same condition that you sent it to them, either it's broken, it's empty, it's damaged, it's used, you sent it brand new sealed and they open the box, those are all things that you will have to call eBay to dispute. Whether you have automatic returns or there is no automatic return, I don't care how the return happens. Once it arrives back to you and it's different than you sent it, you have to call eBay. It's the only way. So this automatic return thing is not going to affect that process in any way. C4 in-game super chat $5. I have a case that's been pending for over a week. Even after I sent back the tracking info, what should I do? If you've uploaded the tracking info, if you're talking about an eBay, it should say they're reviewing it. If it's in PayPal, it should say that they're reviewing it and that there's no action needed by you. If it says you need to respond or the action awaiting seller's action, you need to respond. Don't let it set. But if it doesn't say that, then you just have to wait for the review. How many do I list a month to sell 800, 900 items? It doesn't matter how many I list. I could list 800 items and sell 800 items. But typically, we sell between 1% and 2% a day. So 1% of my listings is 16 items. 2% is 32. We sell about 20 to 25 items on a normal average day. Today, I've sold like 6. So it's a very below average day. I have 1,600 active items. Toys R Us liquidations. No. Not Toys R Us liquidations. There may be some delays in the post office in the Florida still. There are some areas without power. There are some areas with closed post offices. Most of them are open, though. Hey, Catherine, how you doing? Erica, that's a percentage returns for that many items per month, right? So there you go. Somebody just linked a Canadian one for those of you asking about Canadians. If they're waiting on the buyer's response, then there's nothing you can do, C4 in-game. You just wait, and it will either close in your favor if they don't respond, or they will choose somebody to side with. So Toys R Us. There's not going to be a liquidation of Toys R Us. Toys R Us is not going out of business. They have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is a reorganization of debt. Last I checked, I think they owe $400 million in liabilities or something in that neighborhood. Essentially, what this means is Toys R Us is working with their creditors. That means the banks, the credit lines, everything that they owe money to, in order to kind of try to get it all together, to get a payment plan together and a way that they can liquidate some inventory through normal channels, like way that they can increase sales, increase online, increase warehousing, all these things to pay off the debt in order to start fresh and get working again. The problem is when companies file for Chapter 11, 9 times out of 10, they do go out of business, or they change business drastically. Over the last 12 months, we all know we lost Radio Shack, we lost H.H. Gregg. We're losing clothes companies by the tenfold. Now, those clothes companies like True Religion, Ann Taylor, all those companies, they're not going out of business. They are ditching the brick and mortar. It's just too expensive to have a store where people aren't going into the mall and spending $300 or $400 on clothes. They're going on eBay and Amazon and spending $50. So that brick and mortar crap, $10,000 rent and $3,000 utilities and electric and water and internet and $10,000 in payroll and $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in a location to try to sell some stuff at the mall. It's just not working. And the same goes for Toys R Us. Those are big buildings with big rent, with big overhead, with big payroll, with huge expenses times thousands of stores. They just can't sell enough to, offset those huge expenses. So they're going to have to go online. The problem with the companies trying to transfer themselves over to the internet is that Amazon is dominating. Amazon sold less toys than Toys R Us, but made more money. So that tells you something. Toys R Us is going to come over with their $10 Lego set, and Amazon's got it for $5. And now Toys R Us is going to have to go to $4 and make no money. It's also going to kill third-party sellers because they're going to try to race to the bottom. Amazon and Toys R Us and all these sellers to try to compete, and it's going to push the prices down. We're already seeing it, and it's going to hurt us. I'm afraid. I'm afraid for that. Like, that's scary to me. And Amazon is opening brick and mortar. And so what Amazon did, this is what I believe. Amazon did their online model. They pushed all these brick and mortar stores to the point of bankruptcy or going out of business, forced them onto online where they can't compete with Amazon. They just can't. And now Amazon sees an open field here for brick and mortar. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And maybe Amazon opening brick and mortar will be bad for them. But maybe because they pushed out all their competition, they're going to absolutely own the world. Who knows? But it's pretty crazy. So race to the bottom will be eBay's theme going down in history. Amazon buyout of Toys R Us. Amazon will not buy out Toys R Us. It's too big of a competitor, too much money. They'll just let them fail on their own. It's a give them the noose and let them hang themselves. They're not going to buy Toys R Us, I promise you. I think it'll come down to, like, where are you shopping today, Walmart or Amazon? Take your pick. They're not going to compete with Walmart because Walmart is the bottom of the barrel, lowest price of anything, and it's going to be real tough for Amazon to push them out. You're not going to push out a $1 trillion company, darn near. They cannot. Yeah, Jack and Rose, perfect. They can't compete with Walmart. And the Whole Foods, yeah, Whole Foods was one more thing. Kmart and Sears next in line. Kmart and Sears are already at the bankruptcy filing stage. Definitely. Good night, Kelly. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you being here, Kelly. Yeah, a lot of stuff, Chris Magnelli, would cost a lot of money to ship. That's true. Catherine here. Make sure you guys say hi to Catherine. Check out her YouTube channel if you haven't already. Catherine's Closet. I'm sure you've seen her on my channel. Do I like eBay or Amazon more? I like both. I like eBay a lot more for the listing ability and what I can sell. Yeah, Kmart. I'm surprised Kmart's still in business. I got to be honest. Walmart killed Kmart, and now Amazon's just the nail in the coffin. Accepting EBT online. I don't know about that. When does Amazon get considered for creating a monopoly? Darren's got an excellent question. I've been asked this before. Is Amazon getting too big? It's all over the news. Google Amazon monopoly, Amazon too big, Amazon what's that thing, antitrust. Google all that and you will find story after story. It's getting to that point, and it's going to take the consumer to complain. Honestly, when when Microsoft got so big that the only option was Windows, there was 2 ways that it was going to lose. One was the government antitrust, which Microsoft lost. Bill Gates paid a lot of money, not just in legal fees, but in antitrust fines, government fines, fees. And he had to split Windows up into separate companies. I know that sounds crazy, but Microsoft kind of split for a while. This was the early mid 90s. Microsoft was too big. When you bought a computer, you got Windows. You didn't have an option. The second way that a big company gets killed or gets split or put in their place is when competition comes along. A la Apple came out with the iMac, Apple operating system, OS, competed with Windows and was able to raise the stakes. I don't know who can compete with Amazon. They are a monster. There is nobody doing what Amazon does. Jeff Bezos is ruthless. He will put you out of business if he, for 1 minute, thinks that you're a competition to him, or he'll buy you with an amount of money that you can't even turn down. So I don't know. Walmart won't allow Amazon to become a monopoly. I don't think Walmart can stop them. I don't think it can happen. Yeah, Kmart did have some bad management and bad results, Thomas. I agree with that. Can we have a Mama Rockstar V-neck T-shirt made? Yeah, Mom. I will. I have shirts going out to customers shortly. Speaking of, if you order the shirts, like I told you, they'll ship out. I'm going to upload tracking to everyone. Mom, I will work on getting you a shirt. I don't think I ordered you in this one, but I can get it to you right away. We're going to block somebody. Remove. Goodbye. I'm going to try to block him. There we go. We're blocking Zach Child. Peace, Zach. Troll's gone. Amazon rules are strict for sellers. You can, but I wouldn't put the % Romy in the title. Just put it in the description. Amazon is way too large for sure. I don't think I'm with Erica. I don't think Amazon's going to be successful at brick and mortar. I don't see that as their strong point. Thomas makes a good point. Bill Gates invested in Apple. I think Bill Gates realized how big he was, and he was happy with where he was, and he genuinely liked Steve Jobs, and he was friends with him. He had a soft spot for him, so he did help him get back. I don't think he realized just how powerful Steve Jobs was going to be when he came back. I think Gates thought that Steve Jobs was just going to play it, the level playing field and kind of just cruise through Apple. He just wanted him back at Apple. He didn't realize just how much innovation Steve Jobs was going to bring and how much competition it was going to cause Microsoft. At the end of the day, it was okay with him. He was worth billions. He didn't care. But I'm sure in hindsight, if it was a business move and you look back at it, Gates would be like, whoa, no Steve Jobs, put Apple out of business. Because Apple wouldn't have made it without Steve Jobs. Absolutely no question about it. Kmart is still here. We still have a Kmart. We have 1 or 2 Kmarts, but nobody goes to them. They're empty. Yeah, Kmart has no inventory, no help. They're just going downhill. Romy, yes, you can put a % sign in the title, but I don't recommend it. Don't do it. I think, Rick, yeah, Bill Gates also put in money to Apple to kind of make the government think that he was on the good side of the monopoly. It's a good point also. Thrilla Gorilla Picker. No, the haul today is already listed for sale on my eBay channel. Wayfair is a third-party company. They work under Walmart. You can buy almost all of Wayfair stuff on Walmart.com. Now, before Wayfair got on Walmart, we bought a lot of stuff from Wayfair. That set of bar stools right there came from them, as well as that bar right there that they're sitting in front of. Wayfair is a good company. Their stuff's quality. We haven't had a problem with any of that stuff. The set of chairs I'm sitting on right now, we've had more problems out of than the stuff I got from Wayfair, and these were very expensive. So I value Wayfair, and the fact that they went through Walmart was a smart move for them. I don't know what could be successful at brick and mortar. I don't know. I still can't believe Amazon bought Whole Foods, yeah, and then dropped the price. It was incredible. I mean, Amazon buying everything. So those of you that think Toys R Us is going to liquidate a ton of merchandise, I don't think it's going to happen. They may liquidate a little bit, but they're not going out of business. They're going to put all that stuff on the internet. So keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. How do I know all this good stuff? I read a lot. I watch a lot. I look up a lot. This is what I do for a living, so I know all this stuff. I always read every news story, every tweet, every post. I spend hours and hours researching this stuff, looking into this stuff, looking up the history. I've watched the entire Bill Gates antitrust video series. I'm interested in this stuff. Capitalism and selling and buying is everything I do in my life. So it's what I'm interested in. Pet stores are very successful brick and mortar. That's a good point. Good point. Funeral supplies. Does it hinder Toys R Us buying power? No, I don't think so. I think Toys R Us doesn't have a lot of buying power anyways. They're out of money. A new building for Amazon in Vegas. Good Lord. Yeah, Amazon sellers got a good point. Toys R Us is going to continue operating just like you're used to them operating. They're not out of business. They're just going to start moving a lot to online. The retail stores, you may see a little change in, but they're still going to be open, at least for 6 to 12 months. They're essentially filing bankruptcy to their credit cards and saying, we can't pay you. They don't have enough money to pay the overhead, the profits, to put back into the credit payoff. That's it. I do not source overseas. I have bought through Alibaba a few times. I have some of the stuff that I've bought, and I've never had a lot of luck. In fact, I've got some of them right here I can show you guys. These just got sent back. I just recalled this merchandise from the Amazon warehouse because it just wasn't selling. I sold a few here and there, but not enough to justify paying it. So I'm just going to sell it myself on eBay. These are iPad Mini 4 cases. And I bought these directly from China. I paid like $1.50 or $1.75 plus shipping. These were like $2 landed on my doorstep, and I put them out to Amazon for $15, and I just couldn't sell them fast enough. So we'll put the stock on eBay. We'll sell it all for $10.99, $11.99. These are great, hard cases. They got a little flex to them, but not a lot. They got a kickstand. They're dust proof. They're solid. They're drop proof. They're great cases. They're for a newer model, iPad Mini 4. I got them in pink. I got them in blue. And we'll sell them as they sell. I'm not going to store them in Amazon's warehouse just to pay the storage fees. I'd rather just have them here, put them up, and sell them as they go. So it's not all junk. Most of it is low class, but this is a perfect example. This is a very good case. If I had an iPad Mini 4 and you just put it in here, this is a good case. I mean, this is a solid case for the fact that I didn't really pay all that much for it. So you guys can see it had my Amazon FBA sticker on it. And just a peel and stick, and that was pretty much it. I mean, I don't do a lot of that because I just haven't had a lot of luck with it. But a lot of people do. There's guys with 10,000 of these cases up that sell 100 a day. So, Moto Gone Mini, thanks for joining me first time here. People need to learn from Amazon. They certainly should, but they're not. Yeah, so the Chapter 11 bankruptcy for Toys R Us is going to allow for them to have more cash for fourth quarter. So hopefully they have a good fourth quarter. I don't see it. Everyone's shopping online, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we have 3 Amazon warehouses near us. We have one in Ruskin, Florida, one in Lakeland, Florida, and one in Orlando. I think there's a couple in Miami, Jacksonville, Fort Myers. They're everywhere here. We have a ton in Florida. So, but that's what I've got for you guys as far as coverage. If you have questions, feel free to ask. We talked about Toys R Us now. We talked about the fall update and automatic returns and some of those changes. So any questions, put them up in the Q&A section over in the chat, and I'll answer them in just a second. The dog is freaking out. He wants to come over. Come on, Roscoe. Live shows again. Here he comes. Come on, buddy. I have an iPad Mini 4. Terry does. I do not have an iPad Mini. Lindsay, thank you. You got to get to work. Appreciate you being here. Somebody's whining to come up and join the show, so we'll bring him. Somebody wants to be on the show. He was crying to get up. Here you go, buddy. Now you're on. Look. Look, right here. See? Say hi to everyone. You need a haircut, buddy. Say hi to everyone. This is Rockstar Dog. We should have called you Rockstar Pup. We just opened one in Michigan. Yep. Malls are soon to be ghost towns. Our malls, we have several empty, abandoned malls in this area. So I don't think malls – I never go to the mall. I never do. He's a little camera shy. I have never I have filed one lost claim with the USPS. It took like 48 hours. I ended up being out like a $20 item. It was really frustrating. Up here, bud. Up here. Rockstar Roscoe. Kathy Sturton, do I buy boxes of wholesale clothes? I do. I've sold some of it before if you look back at my past. I love thrifting, so that's why I go out thrifting and buying. I do buy the wholesale inventory off and on, absolutely. I'm going to buy some for fourth quarter to stock up on. I'm going to raise our inventory levels, so that'll be good. What are people buying and replacing in Florida besides water? Clothes. A lot of people lost all their clothes when the water came in and washed out all of their stuff. They lost a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes, everything like that. The Red Cross, I think, is taking donations like that as well. How do you stand out when you're selling a very popular item on eBay? Be top rated, have good photos, and have a good price. Google Logan Sport Mall. I'll have to look that up. Laserwood Shapes. Congratulations on the top rated. We do not do measurements on all our clothing items. We do on some of them, but not all of them. I definitely don't on men's clothing. Women's clothing, typically, yes. Night, Mom. How long did it take? It can take you a week. It can take you 10 years. There's no answer to how long it takes to become full-time. It just depends on how much money you need to make, how much time you have, how much extra time you have, how much capital you have available. You could go out tomorrow if you have $1 million in the bank and buy $1 million in inventory and you're a full-time seller overnight. So it just all depends on your situation. Realistically, from a full-time job to a full-time eBay, it's going to take you 6 months to a year. You need a haircut, buddy. You want to get down? Yeah, you're looking over there. You want to get down? I'll put you down. Look, say bye. Goodbye, buddy. Ugh, go ahead. Get in the kitchen. Go in the kitchen with Chewy. Go ahead. Best-selling items. I sell a ton of button-down, men's button-down and men's polos, like Adidas and Nike and Columbia. I sell a lot of that stuff. Roscoe, come here. Do I have multiple eBay accounts or just the one? Just the one that we sell on. I do have a second eBay account. I don't share it. It's a personal account. I haven't used it in quite a few years. It actually has a lot of feedback. Roscoe, go. But we haven't used it since we turned it into a business 4 or 5 years ago. So I just don't bother to share it. It doesn't matter what the name is. It has, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 feedback. We sold quite a bit of stuff on it when we were like part-time. Like I was doing lots of different things and selling locally and not selling on eBay and selling a little bit on Amazon. But I don't, that second account is just personal. I'll buy things on it from time to time here and there, but there's just one main account that we use to sell on, pretty much. Always use your own pictures. Resale Warrior, all my stuff is 50% marked off, but I run my sales differently from everyone. Graphic tees sell okay. They sell decently. No, it's not better to sell on multiple accounts. You're paying multiple store subscription fees. You're trying to keep track of 2 accounts. Accounting becomes a nightmare. Just do it on one. Why do it on multiple? I just don't think that matters. Catherine, congratulations. Why is eBay making me get a merchant getaway pay-in account? Never heard of that, Kathy. Never heard of it. Oh, the eBay reinstatement. Yeah, sir, the i8 is a good car, but get one that's at least a 2017 or newer. Don't buy a 15 or 16 like I have because they didn't have them perfect yet. The reinstatement. Recently, and I'm not going to name the person, I saw a case where a lot of people on Instagram tagged me and messaged me about a seller that was suspended. They had an account months ago. The account was restricted because they neglected it and did not upload tracking and upload shipping like they should have. The account got restricted, so they opened a second account, which was obviously linked to their first account, which I don't think they realized was going to happen. They've been selling along on the second account with no problems. Finally, eBay discovered it and restricted them. Obviously, when one account's restricted, you can't open another account to get around it. And so their second account got restricted. They did really well on the second account, and they got the message saying they couldn't list new items, but they could still sell. And then they got the dreaded message from eBay that they were indefinitely suspended. Now, in my experience and in my opinion, I have never, ever, ever seen somebody get reinstated after an indefinite eBay suspension. I have known 2 people personally that it's happened to. I have known dozens of people through people, and I've known hundreds of people on the internet that have never had it reversed. This person was able to get it reversed. Now, how did they do it? I'm not 100% sure, but I can tell you that I suspect, and they admitted this and other people have, that they did have some friends that were connected with eBay with some connections that they put requests and emails into, and they were able to get it resolved and overturned. And congratulations to them. I felt really bad. I'm happy that they had it done. They got it reversed. It's awesome. It is literally the first time in 10 years I've ever seen it reversed. With that being said, if you get restricted for something similar, it is not likely that you are going to get it reversed. It would take a connection at eBay, which is what I believe had something to do with it. They don't reverse that decision almost ever. If it happened to me, which it's not going to happen to me, but if it happened to me, I believe that I would have to reach out to my eBay corporate connections and pray that they felt bad for me to do the same. But it's the story that's awesome to hear. It made me happy that they got reinstated and that they're able to keep selling. I think they realized the mistake they made, and hopefully they won't make it again, and they'll be good to go. So that's pretty cool. Elizabeth Hankins, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. Love following your successes. Thank you for all of your advice. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. Thank you for being interested. Alex Budnick, sign up for a new EIN. People say to get around it, you sign up for a new account. Yes, you can get around it. You can get around eBay suspension, but let me tell you exactly how difficult it is. You would need to create a new company with a new EIN because you could not use your Social Security and you could not use the former company's EIN. That new EIN, especially here in Florida, shows up on public records as you as the business owner. You could not put your name down as a business owner. You would have to register it in a registered agent's name. Like I would have to use my mom's name or somebody with a good history on eBay as the registered agent because owning a business shows up as a public record in a lot of states. And eBay uses public records to link accounts. You would need a whole new address, which usually means a P.O. box. You would need a new phone number, a new email address, a new PayPal, a new bank account, a new IP, which means a new router or changing your router, new internet, a new MAC address, almost always a new computer to log in from. You have to change everything. I do not condone this or recommend it to get around eBay. It is possible. I've seen it. Do not do it. You will get caught and you'll regret it later. So it's nobody that's well known in the community. It's somebody that I wasn't even familiar with. I just got tagged on the post a bunch of times. I reached out to them. I was going to offer to help. They ended up getting it resolved without me. So awesome. But I'm happy that it's possible in case somebody did have it happen to them. If you have a reasonable reason, then it's possible that you could get it reversed. Jeff Cole, I have a whole video about eBay stores. They're very easy to start and open. You can do it in about 5 minutes. And the basic store gets 250 and a premium store gets 1,000 free listings. Also, you would have to list different inventory. If you listed the same listing, same inventory, eBay can detect that. Trust me, they can. Jim Jackson, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I just don't recommend doing that. I do not use a POS system, no point in it. I just sell on eBay, print my labels, ship it, and use QuickBooks to account for it. Wow, I've been on already 45 minutes, so we're wrapping up here in just a few minutes. Thank you for all the likes, guys. 273 people watching. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. Really appreciate it. I do promote almost all of my listings 360. Some of my electronics I don't because they kind of sell themselves. Anything high end I don't promote because I feel like it'll sell itself, and that's a higher promoted listing. So I leave some of those off. If I'm bulk editing the active listings, is there a way to end them all at once? Jessica Jones, I don't believe there is. You can select all on your active listing page and select end, and you can end them all like that in bulk. I have ended them that. You don't need to get to the bulk edit screen, just on the active listing screen, select all and then end. I believe that's how I did it. I have ended like 50 at a time. I haven't done anything about FEMA, no, but eBay's helping us out. Q4 is going to be good for sure. Stop Motion Productions. Check out my channel. You'll get all about it. Georgia Parker, can you explain the very well-worn shoes is all about? Some people have weird fetishes. That's all I can say. Percent of jump for me is 50%. If I sell 10 items a day, I'll sell 15 to 20. Anywhere from 50 to 100% jump during fourth quarter. Jimmy, it's on the way, buddy. I'm going to be uploading tracking to everyone here shortly. Becca, I recommend iPads. I hate Android. I hate Google's platform. I'm just not an Android fan. Sorry to all you Android lovers. Jessica Jones is a superhero. Which one is she? What's her power? Amber, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I'm going to go get some work done too, guys, so I'm going to head out of here. We've been on 46 minutes. I appreciate everyone being on here. Yes, Stacy, fourth quarter is a jump for clothing as well. It's a jump for everything. So whatever you sell, make sure you post it. Get it all listed. If you want me to look at your eBay store, send it to me at rockstarflipper@gmail.com. Send me the direct URL link to your store or to one of your items in the email, and I will get to them as quickly as I can. It may take a day or two. The pool is not repaired. The guy never came out yesterday. It called me, so now I got to try to call back. Kind of frustrated at that, actually. Thanks for reminding me of that. Thank you. Jessica has to show her real name. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'm going to let you go. Make sure you check out the other videos if you haven't already. Everything you guys know the deal. It's all down in the description box. I'll let you all get back to it. Going to keep filming. Salvation Army Haul tomorrow, half off day. Make sure you take advantage of it to it. Get listing, get sourcing, and get making money. I got to go do that too. So have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Not live, but recorded. We'll be back live again Thursday, so 9 p.m. then. Good night, everyone.